This basically allows you to have the ability to anchor your perceived value. You show up in big bold letters and numbers that this is how much you spend during the month, and then people see. Anybody who has tried to do pricing will know that yeah, anchoring is important in terms of where people understand the value, because people don't just come up with a number. They try to reference it either from competitors or things that are similar. So you want to have a good anchor on top so that it leaves more flexibility in what you want to charge later on. So you do this by have the amount of reimbursement shown at the top and the amount displayed, since that's going to be reimbursed anyways. So it show at the show it to your users. And you also have this feature called micro unit pricing, which everyone should be familiar with, especially if you run an API service, or any of or anyone who's doing web startup. When you host it on the Amazon cloud or Heroku, App Engine, DigitalOcean, they charge by the amount of CPU use or all the uptime of these processor nodes, and they all come in per per second or per hour. It depends on the service, but you want to break it down into very micro unit pricing, because not only you have the benefit of being able to min-max better, and you also have the the pricing benefit of breaking down a big cost into small units so that it's perceived that it's it breaks down the barrier to pay, right? Like most charities, they say instead of donate $365, they will say donate $1 a day, and that has been proven to be more effective than charging for a lump sum. And finally, you got the auto adjustment for the time that has the most spending. And this auto adjustment is if you remember the graph, is I think the graph's here. Yeah, you see the red section, that's the auto adjustment. That's the period of time that this particular user has spent the most, and if he redeems all his time credits, right, or whatever he wishes to redeem all the time credit, this is the best part of his usage he should spend. And the reason why you do this is you want to build trust. You want to and when you build trust, it's very important too, because have you ever tried to get someone who doesn't trust you to like your product? It just doesn't happen. If they don't trust you, they're gonna have their confirmation bias. Everything you do is they're gonna perceive you differently, and they're gonna have a different story on how you present things to them, right? So you want to build trust, and the best way to build trust is put their interests over yours, and their interest is to save money, yours is to profit, right? You want to reverse that. You want to help them save their money and not worry about your profits. And auto adjustment, and this thing I showed you, it depends on how your business is structured. Obviously, you cannot charge by time credits all the time. You have to look at how your business is structured, how it's a service, so that you can either charge by time credits, or you can adjust. You can adjust by time credits, or you can adjust by units consumed. So if it's just time credits, you just keep going. There's no optimizing the usage. Okay, and then let's talk about what reimbursement period can do for elevating perceived value, and what flexibility in pricing can do for elevating perceived value. So let's, for example, we have a startup around Bay. They are I don't know, a zoo for Uber for zoos, or a Tinder for zoos, right? And then they have spent 50,000 micro units in case API requests on their account for your product. The product you offer, they spent 50,000 micro units. And at the end of the month, you show them they spent $10,000 in value at the top, at a charge price of $0.2 per request, and you display it in the Arambe's account dashboard. This $10,000 you notify them will be reimbursed, so that Arambe will receive no billing charge. And when it's time to start the next month of billing cycle, you give them a notification that tells them, hey, you've done an excellent job in using our service and sending us valuable data and giving us quality referrals to perfect our product, and we've qualified you for a premium rate at $0.1 per request. So here you go. And for next month, for 50,000 requests, it will only cost $5,000 instead of $10,000, which is basically half of the original that you're displaying on the dashboard. And just like that, you maintain your brand's perceived value as a premium product, and we're still able to offer your loyal customer a discount. Doing all this without risking lowering your perceived value. And now, the reception by Rambe will be something similar to the sentiment of gaining admittance to like a exclusive club, right? You've done something for these guys, and then they're basically giving you a special treatment. Whereas if you just do a free trial, I would say the sentiment received by Arambe will probably be something similar to, you have finished a free trial, now it's going to cost you $5,000 to continue our service. It'll feel like a cheap shot. It's not gonna feel good, right? It's basically, it has nothing to do with trying to change up your perceived value, and it's just simply, now it's time to pay. And you can ask almost any SaaS startups or anything that once free trial is over, this is a big hurdle. You lose users, or you lose people who are not going to pay after they're done with free trial, because there's a paying barrier. People who are risk averse, or generally they're like, when the process of taking out the credit card and start paying for real, that scares people, that put people off. So this is why you need to increase your higher perceived value, so you keep reinforcing to them the idea that your product is worth it to them. So other benefits is that you can run basically endless amount of pricing experiments without commitment or risk of price discrimination. So you can give this person the example, after they've done a full month of usage, you give them a special qualified premium rate. You can do a 0.1 request, and this amount is basically what you can test on. You can do 0.1, 0.005 per request. You can try whatever you like, right? Since this is not price discrimination. Whereas if you hold a trial, you're like, I'm gonna charge you $50, I'm gonna charge you $100, I'm gonna charge you $75. If they actually find out, they're like, what the heck? Why am I being charged differently for the exact same service? But instead, this way, if you do it this way, we'll qualify you for this plan. We'll qualify you for this plan. Is because your service or the referrals you made for us are more important because they gave us valuable data, and plus they helped us grow, so we can give people different rates depending on how much they helped us out. And this is very important because Amazon and many other companies have done multiple pricing experiments, and when they get caught split testing to charge different prices, it's just terrible PR, and you just hassle you don't want to deal with, especially if you're a startup, you're trying to grow, and then boom, you're hit with a bad PR that you're charging different people, you're messing with your users. And this is going to affect your SEO, especially in the early stage where you don't have that resource to pour into SEO. Like, how are you going to grow if the first Google result is like this startup is charging different prices for different people? Watch out, don't trust them. And you lose people's trust, like I said, you lose your perceived value. Like, it's just going to be difficult to grow. It's going to be difficult to just be accomplished as a startup. And also, it's very hard to iterate on pricing than other elements of your business. Like, once you set a price, coming down is much easier than going up. And I think everybody can agree with me on this. Like, if you want to charge more, people are going to get pissed. But if you drop your rate from 100 to 50, everybody's going to cheer for you. And the other benefits, in fact, this is very helpful, is that especially for startup, is to gain momentum into critical mass. Startup nowadays, most of the funded ones have some sort of network effect, where most of the ones that are defensible in terms of getting undermined by competitors have network effect, right? Everybody's first race to the one to kick critical mass into the network effect. That's why Uber is pouring billions, and then Lyft, all the in the Chinese markets as well. They're just spending so much money. It's just throwing it at subsidizing users because of the network effect. And what they're trying to do is not to just throw money. They're trying to get into a critical mass so that the feedback loop of more drivers, more users, more drivers can kick in, and then it basically will wash out the competition by itself. So you want to do whatever you can to get this critical mass going, and often people do it because to tactics like subsidizing your users, launching coordinated, massive PR, or whether a sort of viral effect. And if you're subsidizing, that's not, I guess Uber can do it, but can you? If you're really well funded, yeah, you can, but money is not a luxurious resource for many people, and you want to do it with as cheaply as possible, right? And similar to PR, often you don't know how successful your PR is, and PR is going to cost you money as well. And if you're PR, you have to coordinate it, and you have to follow up. And the PR, you don't even know if it's going to reach to your ideal demographics or anything like that. So, the benefits of reimbursement and time credit, it'll help you get into this critical mass, because having compound incentives and reward system, ecosystem rewards, ecosystem referrals, and compound incentives will motivate people to work harder to invite due to the additional rewards, right? So this is obviously coordinated with all your other marketing efforts, and then on top of that, the referral program will just magnify what you're already doing. It's actually not a substitute for all your other methods completely. Like, don't just do this only, but do everything together, because that's how you build